He wouldn't last 5 seconds on blue sky. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. The choice. Get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. We love that about you. Patrick Warburton is in studio. One of the good ones.
Well, thank you, Adam.
You know what's nice? Every time your name comes up, people go, good dude. That's a good dude. That's a good guy. And I think they mean it. And it's not that hard to achieve, but yet so many squander that title, right?
I try. I really try. And I think a lot of that has to do with when you've been married for 34 years and you're just you're beat down.
Yeah.
A broken
like a
man.
Baton death march,
Yeah,
like a 34-year baton death march.
You are kind to people because you want them to be kind to you.
Oh, but let me say this. I think, and you're not going to be able to weigh in, maybe because it's you.
Yeah.
But I think there's this element. You ready?
Yeah.
When you're tall as a male. This is universal. This is both, male and female. You ready?
Yeah.
When you're tall and you have good proportions and you're attractive and you're well-built, we factor that in because we're like, that guy should be a douchebag. See, people do it with Clooney. Like they'll go, Clooney, nice guy, man. He's such a nice... But really what we're saying is he can be an asshole and he'll still get his dick sucked and he doesn't need you, but he's being sort of cordial anyway. But what I'm saying... Patton Oswalt is just as nice as Clooney, but no one goes, nice guy, because he's a dwarf, and nobody's scared of him, and nobody wants to fuck him. You see what I'm saying? And you're tall, and you're strapping, and you're good-looking, and so when you're nice, people go, he's a good dude, but they do a little extra. They'll do it with hot chicks. If there's ever good-looking, tall, blonde chick, they'll go, and she's so nice. She's so nice. She's not that nice. She's nice for a hot chick. She's not nice for a dumpy, pear-shaped chick. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're getting a little extra nice because you're athletic and tall.
I guess, but there are those of us, we treat everybody the exact same. Like, I'm not going to, I won't say who this is because, I don't want to nastily throw somebody under the bus, but there was somebody who, I, at one point or another, I go, nice set and was just ignored. And then somebody was, telling her, who I was. And then she's like, oh my God, I'm such a big fan. And then she's really nice.
Right.
Because they know who that you are at that point, and they didn't before, and I'm just like, that kind of always grosses me out because I treat everybody, we're all the same.
Well, let's do it this way.
Okay.
Let's expand that. Let's make it universal to create a utopia where everyone treats everyone nicely. Yeah. Not once we discover it's the guy from the Family Guy or the guy from Seinfeld or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's treat this with where you spit your gum out, where you throw your garbage, where you let your dog shit, like just sort of everything.
Yes.
Which is, if you wouldn't just spit your gum out right in front of your house on the sidewalk, then don't do it 10 miles away on a random sidewalk.
True.
Just have one mode. If you wouldn't, at your home, if you blew up a burrito in the microwave at home, you would immediately clean it. But at work, when you blow up it, you don't clean it. One mode is what I'm saying. Don't spit the gum. Be nice to Patrick Warburton, whoever he is, and don't blow up a burrito or clean up after yourself if you do.
Get the analogy. I do get lectured every now and then because I trash the microwave.
You do.
So, yeah, but, in general, look, I think that we all have a sense. Look, I try, for instance.
Did you pay for the microwave?
Yes.
Do you pay for the electricity?
I see where you're going, and I love it.
Let me just break it down.
Yeah.
You bought the microwave.
Yeah.
You pay for the kilowatts that it burns to heat said burrito. How about the cabinetry and the home that it's in? Did you pay for that? And how about the taxes on that home?
Yes. But
okay. Then you do what the fuck you want with that microwave. That's the world I'm living in.
I never have ever held that over to my wife, who's been the homemaker and taking care of our 4 kids who are in great shape because she's such a great mom, and I realize how hard she works doing that.
Out of respect.
So I've never, ever held that over her.
But can I give you another theory?
Yeah.
I want you to really think hard about this.
Okay.
I don't know exactly. I've been kicking around my head for a while. There's an old adage, or just it's a bygone theory where men would be intimidated if their woman made more than them. Okay? Every guy I float that theory with goes, are you fucking nuts? I would love it.
Right.
I would love it. And it's a weird thing because women will go, guys, they couldn't handle it if a woman, I'd be like, are you kidding? I would like 1 month of that situation where you just went out and made more than me. That'd be utopia for me. But I got a theory. My theory is in our current agreement, societal agreement with women in our relationship in 2025, especially living in Southern California and maybe working in the industry we're working in, you could make all the money, as I always have in any relationship I've been in. If I pointed out that I paid for the microwave so you got to clean it, that would make me an ogre. Right? Even though I'm not sure why that's our agreement, because if the woman made all the money, she'd be leading you around by the fucking nose hairs the entire time you're in that house. And you do, it would always, look, if the woman made all the money and she said, I'm in the mood for Thai food tonight, and you went, I kind of thinking Greek, guess who'd be eating Thai food? And wherever she wanted to go on vacation, if she said, I want to go to Maui, and you went, I think we should go to Mexico, you're going to Maui. Whatever. If you're thinking about a car, if Patrick Warburton is thinking about a car and you're like, I'm looking at the Corvette, then the woman who made all the money would go, why don't you go look at a Tesla?
I am not going to go to war with all the dangerous women in this world.
You would be.
You'll know if I agree just by nodding.
You agree. You agree by not. There's no way that the relationship would be, I work all the time, pay for everything, and you just do whatever the fuck you want all the time.
Well, no, it wouldn't be that because obviously, it's got to be teamwork, right? So if the woman is making all the work, then you are Mr. Mom. That's it. And you are doing everything there, You're splitting stuff up.
When I was married, I'd made all the money, always made all the money. And my wife said, let's go look at new cars. And I said, why don't we go look at the Genesis? Genesis is doing a lot of nice stuff. This is several years ago, but Genesis makes a lot of really high-end cars now. And so we went and looked at a Genesis, and it was like $44,000. And she said, I'll take the Audi for 71. And I said, Genesis is just as much car. And she said, yeah. I'll be driving the Audi.
Well, that's a hard argument for you to make, being that you have like 100 cars. And
all right, I'm saying if we flip the script, and she made all the money, went out every weekend and worked her fucking ass off, it'd be Genesis or nothing for me.
I guess, Adam, but then again, you've got,
work.
Paul Newman's race car in your garage with a number of other things, right? Yeah, so you know what? I'll take the Audi.
You know what I'm saying,
I know what you're saying. At the same time, I'm going, you're not going to win that one. You're not.
I know, but I would argue not winning that one because the other person's unreasonable is not a good society. You're not going to win that fight with that homeless guy. You're not going to get shit smeared on you.
Yeah.
All right. So Patrick, out doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of the cars, we're at the Reno Car Museum last time.
Yeah.
And I saw Patrick, and I think you probably surprised people with your stand-up.
Yeah. Well, because I never really did it. I started headlining a year ago, and so. It's gone well, but I always felt like I was sort of built for it, and I just started writing and putting things together and going on the road, and the show's built. And so, it's just been a year of touring. I mean, you've been doing this for a while. I started doing this later in life. I'm sure your first year, though, which was how old were you when you started doing the stand-up?
I'm sort of have the same semi-trajectory as you because I tried to do it early when there was nothing else to do but an open mic. I mean, I'm talking in the 80s, and there was nothing else to do for me. I didn't see myself auditioning or sitcomming or I didn't figure that out. So I just did open mics, sort of realized that it wasn't really my calling. I didn't feel comfortable. I knew I was not saying what I wanted to say. Yeah. And I knew I was doing my impersonation of a stand-up. And I also knew I was like 21 and just didn't know anything.
That's exactly when I did it. And I did it for like 2 months, and then I just split. I ended up going away for 4 months to work on a project, and I never went back. But I always regretted it. I always did regret it, even though it was a unique environment.
I then went into improv and sketch, and that's what I did, and then radio and TV and stuff like that. So I didn't really, and then forgot about it. And then at some point, at a later stage in life, like 15 years ago, just kind of got pushed out into doing performing. But it wasn't really stand-up. It was like an evening with Adam Carolla or something, something like that.
Yeah, which I never wanted this to be, you know what I'm saying? So, because there were a lot of pitches early on, more industry anecdotal stories. I'm like, no, because then it becomes a night with. Like, a stand-up's got to be stand-up.
I agree. And I did a sort of evening with for several years. And then at some point, I just went, if you're going to be a stand-up, be a stand-up.
Right. And I would assume, because I don't know, but I would figure that your first year out, you were probably already going from clubs to theaters because you had such a huge following and you have great perspective. It's such a funny storyteller, which I always felt like, that would have been... Because when Mike told me that, it'd only been, how many years has it been for you? Like,
well, it's hard to add them all up because I never really did the workout at the home club. You got to get up every night, you got to work it out, which a lot of comedians would say. I wouldn't. I'd just go do a theater, and 10 days later, I'd go do another theater. I wouldn't do anything in between.
Right.
And it's really just in the last, I'd say, 5 years that I really started to like focus and think and work out a little bit and craft things and write jokes and not just sort of do crowd work and that kind of stuff. So recent.
Yeah.
But because of it, like, how many things you get better at where you can go, I'm better at 60 than I was at 55.
Yeah.
Which is nice, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been running around long, I've been going, I guess, 75, but...
75 minutes?
Yeah, but, if they're, you got an opener and they're doing 15 or whatever, that's all right. I mean, that's good for, a night in a club, you know what I'm saying? It's actually not too long.
Well, that's the other thing, too. I used to just go around, just do 9500 minutes like every show, and then at some point someone goes, well, you got to have an MC, and you got to have an opener, and you got to have a middle, and I was like, why? I don't get all that stuff. And it was kind of like, that's how you do it. But I'll tell you, there is something to just go MC 10 minutes, then the feature does like 15 or 20, and then you do just like a tight hour. Yeah. But it's tight. Yes. And it's jokes, and it's, it's enough, and it's like less where you're from and more, here's another concise premise.
Yeah.
But I saw Patrick do stand-up at the museum in Reno, where my cars were. And I went to go watch because I was like, I know Patrick, but I don't know him to be a stand-up. And I thought it was, I remember thinking to myself, I was like, wow, this guy's good. Like, it's really got something here. Like, there's especially considering at the time you've been doing it for a relatively short period of time.
Yeah. Well, thanks. That means a lot coming from you.
I did. I was like, oh, this guy's good. Stories are funny. Stuff's good.
Well, I'm running around now. I mean, my big, Northeast tour is coming up on July 10th. I'm flying to New York. I got to get a rental car. I'm going to bring my sticks with me, obviously. And I am driving from city to city. It's, New York, Connecticut, Jersey, D.C., Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Philly. I'm a 6-year-old road-weary comic now where that stuff is getting old, but to a degree, and it is, the travel. I know you're kiting around probably in a private, like, I don't want to say that Princess David Spade because you were a man and you were not a princess, and not that Davey's a princess, and I'm already digging a hole here. But he's a little bit of a princess. A little bit. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm doing that, and it's okay. And you know what? It's funny. I feel like when they give me a check, it's the first time I felt like I've earned my money since I was working for 123 Delivery back when I was like 22 years old, trying to make ends meet in LA, where we didn't have FedEx. I would drive in my beat up old Volkswagen Fox with no air conditioning or a radio in it.
The Fox.
Yes, the Fox. And I'd pick up a package and then I'd have to deliver it somewhere else in town. And then I'd pick up a package and then I'd deliver it. And then when I would go back to my little hovel there, I'd pop in my cult CD, I'd pop open a beer, and I felt like I earned that money. I might play Working Man by Rush. I mean, I really felt like a working man.
Well, first off, the Volkswagen Fox was a predecessor to the Jetta. If people are trying to figure out the Fox, there was like the Rabbit. Oh, and then the Fox would chase the Rabbit.
There we go. Good brand.
I never put that one together. But I will say, and someone can look it up, the Rabbit probably came out in like 75, and the Fox was more like 82 or something, something like that. Yeah. But think shit box.
Yeah.
When you think
it wasn't
that.
special.
No, not special. But I agree with you. You feel like you earned it, and it's somewhere between a job as we knew it and show business. Yeah. But doing VO work for the Family Guy doesn't really feel like that.
No, this, write all your own material. You get out there, you fill the houses, you sell the tickets, you do the shows,
sell some merch if you can after the show.
I would never do the merch thing. I don't do merch, but
you say that, but I'm telling you, people like it. Well, for me, I have 10,000 books to sell.
Right.
The Fox was 87 to 93.
Yeah.
By the way.
Okay.
So I agree.
It's a good run.
But the thing about, I know people complain about the road, and I feel like they're doing it unduly. Like, first off, the road as a comedian may not be driving to Burbank and starring in a sitcom with Tim Allen getting paid millions of dollars. Okay. Right. And it may not be shooting a movie with Brad Pitt, but compared to almost every other job in America, it's pretty fucking good.
Well, it is. I'm just saying because it's it's a lot of time away. I've been doing more traveling this year than I've ever done in my life, which I never saw that coming. So now, where I am, now hanging out in Ventura, got the the golf joint, all my buddies, we all play there. All my kids live in the area. We just became grandparents, so we got a grandchild. It's just really chill being in Ventura and digging it, and I got my stuff to do at home. And again, the golf, getting a little tequila, I was getting very, very comfortable. And then all of a sudden, this has been, I don't want to call it a disruptor because I'm very fortunate to be doing this. I'm having a lot of fun, but it's a ton of fun, doing the shows. It's just the planes and getting around and, driving from city to city.
Let me tell you this. All right. When there was a time in my life where traveling cross country in an airplane for 5 or 6 hours, I was like, oh God, I don't want to sit there for, I did not look forward to it. I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to do. Then I got to the point in my life where I got so busy that I actually looked forward to the quiet of an airplane for 6 hours.
Yeah, get off the phone, just chill,
just not
stare
have
at the back
to
of the
deal
seat.
with anything. Yeah. Now, when your home life gets disrupted, like I got divorced and everything became a shit show, I started looking forward to leaving.
Yeah.
Because I'm just somewhere not dealing with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to ruin your home life. Because the golf and the tequila and the never-ending marriage and the grandchildren, that's all just shit you miss when you leave.
Yeah.
You got to fuck that up, and then you'll be glad to leave. See what I'm saying here?
I do.
Okay, so give that some consideration. You'll be happy to fucking leave. And something happened to me along the way where I was just like, I don't mind being in some town that I've never been in before, walking around on a Saturday with nothing to do.
It's good. I've seen places I've never been to. That's for sure.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. I got a theory, and I think you're qualified for this. By the way, Patrick is talking about, and that's why he's in here, our film, When We Went Mad, the unauthorized story of Mad Magazine, which is out on Apple, Amazon, most digital platforms as well. It's really good, and it's got a lot of really good names in it. Patrick does a great job on the VO on it. So That's the plug. But the theory, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of being out and about, I was out in Henderson. I was doing 6 shows at Kimmel's show in Vegas, and I found myself going through Henderson, and I will tend to do things on the road that I didn't really want to make time to do when I was here, like get a haircut.
Yeah.
Now, for instance, if I got to trim my fingernails, I'll do it when I'm taking a walk. The reason I'll do it when I'm taking a walk is, A, I don't like when you clip it and the nail pops and goes shooting across the room and gets stuck in some carpet or something and you never find it again.
And you have to find it before your girlfriend or your wife
steps on it.
Again.
Right.
Yes.
So, also, I don't mind the fingernails landing on the ground when I'm hiking because I don't really look at that as litter, per se.
No, thrown Zin packets, that's litter.
That's
fingernails,
litter.
not.
Gum.
Yeah.
Banana peels, stuff people can slip
Water
on.
bottles.
I walk and I trim.
Okay.
And then people go, that's weird. And I go, well, 2 reasons. A, I don't want to pick it up. But B, I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah.
I look at it as an efficiency thing. Yeah. I'm going to spend this time. And while you guys burnt a couple calories taking a hike, which is great, I did that, but I trim my nails as well.
You're a multitasker.
I'm a multitasker. All right. So when I go out, I'll oftentimes on a Saturday do a couple shows Friday night, got a couple shows Saturday night. I got the day. I'll go get my hair cut.
Yeah.
Now I'll go to Super Clips or Sports Clips or Fantastic Sam's or, oh, you're almost shaved down, aren't you?
I am, because I have such a shitty head of hair that I just decided, screw it. So
good. You don't need it.
Yeah.
You got a Selleck-esque mustache and a face that should be on Mount Rushmore. So I pull in to a Sports Clips in Henderson of a strip mall because all I have to do to cut my hair is just drive around. I'll show you. It's just a pube. It's a pile of pubes, and I get shorn like a sheep. I
wish I had your head of hair.
They just go number 2 on the side. And they go. They buzz me like I'm at a pet, like I'm in a pet grooming place.
Yeah.
That's how they cut my hair.
Yeah.
And I can go anywhere, and it's $19.
Yeah.
All right. So when I was in Timonium, outside of Baltimore. Doing stand-up there. I just walked around and found like a sports cut or whatever. Fantastic Sounds. This one in $20 haircut. Yeah. This is my second Henderson haircut. Just walking. Yeah. So there are 3 kids in there when I came walking in with the dad. And the 3 kids were like 6, 9, and 10 or somewhere in that age range. And they all had funky haircuts. And the dad was explaining what they needed. This guy had it real short on the side and long on the back and what have you. And then he's given a dissertation on each kid and their haircut and what he needed and what they wanted as a dad. Now, I sat down and the woman went, what do you want? I said, just shorter. And then she went, what do you want on the back? Round or square? I go, I don't know. What is it now? She goes, round. I go, okay. Keep it round or dude square. I'll never see it. It's always behind, Yeah. So this guy's going on this dissertation about the hair. And then I got one of the kids who got in the chair before me. He got there 10 minutes before me. And now I'm done. And he's still putting the final touches on his hair. And he's 10. Mm-hmm. And he's got some 50-year-old gay guy cutting his hair, and the kid's going, no, bring it up a little, take it a little off here, and then bring it down there. The poor guy's, it's $19 a haircut. Mm-hmm. The poor guy's living in Henderson, he's taking orders from a 10-year-old, And I'm like, this is a hassle. And by the way, you're going to carry this all the way through your life, this particular hair thing, getting attached to... Here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is my grandmother, when she was like 85, had very fine, thin hair. My mom and my grandmother had super thin, fine hair. They weren't bald. They was just very thin and very fine. And at some point, my grandmother's hairstylist moved out of town and relocated to like the Bay Area or something. And one day I was talking to her. She was 83, 84 years old. And she goes, well, I'm flying out to San Francisco to get my hair done. I go, really? Yeah, they're flying out. Yeah, he moved out there, and he's the only one who can do my hair. And I'm like, yeah, him and every fucking buddy else. By the way, you've been married to Grandpa for 50 years. Like, what are you on Tinder now? Like, who gives a fuck? Just get your hair. I'll cut your hair, you know? No, it's very fine, and he does fine hair. And I thought, oh, what a burden. You have to follow this person around. You have to pay a premium. You can't do what I do. You can't just be in Henderson for the afternoon and go into the sports clips at the strip mall, right?
It's a bit of a neurosis, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? I think it's narcissism. Because it's my hair. You know, like my grandmother was narcissistic, and she was like, only this guy can cut my hair. Not really willing to admit that you're not that special. These guys don't give a fuck, and you could do it on any corner in North Hollywood where she lived.
The good Lord brought him to me years ago, and he is my, yes. Okay, maybe.
Now, I wanted to have an intervention for these kids. Because I want to go, look, this is a fucking lifetime. If you going around and being super finicky about shit, you know. And by the way, I'm sizing you up and your dad up, too. You guys are going to work doing septic tank repair when you're older for $21 an hour. So who gives a fuck about your haircut?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Should I have done it?
Sure.
Oh, yeah?
Well, every now and then I think a dad needs to hear. I was in the gym the other day. If anybody wants to get on a machine, or they always ask, they go, how many more sets do you have? Let's go, do you want to work in? You want to work in? Always give them that option. And, you know, and then, I'm in the gym the other day, and, like, there's this kid, he's, like, 20 years old, and there's only one machine in the gym. And I asked politely, I go, hey, is there any way I could work in? And he goes, I've just got a few more sets. So I get the no. And then he's just sitting on it, just staring at his phone.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And so I'm back to
what
waiting.
is the machine?
I'm back there in the machine. It's like fly, for
Pack fly thing.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And then I very politely just go, hey, when somebody's waiting, if you're not going to let them work in, and you're just looking at your phone, it's a little bit rude. And he just goes, I don't care. And I go,
whoa!
I know you don't care, and that's why I'm just mentioning that to you right now. So I actually want to punch his father more than I want to punch him. You know what I'm saying? Because
Dad.
None of my boys would behave that way, in this world that some just feel so entitled and just they're just naturally just assholes and just don't know better about dealing, or it's a narcissistic thing perhaps where you don't care about other people.
Right.
I just don't understand.
The dad is one of these dudes where he has like a shaved head but a huge beard, and he's cultivating a look. And he's up there with the poor woman. These women, it's $19 a haircut they're doing.
Yes.
They're doing 41 haircuts a day. They're on their fucking feet, sweeping up people's hair. First off, God bless them. Always give them it's the only time I tip more than the actual thing I'm tipping on.
Yeah.
The haircut's $19. I gave her a $22.22 tip just because I just stayed on the two. I didn't feel like lifting my hand up. Remember how I cut my nails when I walk?
Yes.
Super efficient.
Yes.
Right? And what's the difference between $20 and 22?
No.
22.
Yeah.
Change too. I never lift my finger.
Yeah.
So this guy's up there. And he's like, we have an appointment for my 3 boys. And the 3 boys are all just sitting there, like, again, 6, 8, 11,
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. She's a Egyptian woman. And you can tell she's just fucking hard-working person who came here from a different country and has got the language but still has an accent. Yeah. And he's like, my boys need haircuts, And then she's like, okay. And he's like, Hezekiah wants it short on the side and long on the back, and Zeke wants it. And she goes, I don't know who those people are. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I haven't memorized the names of your fucking 6-year-old son, you fucking retard, you narcissistic piece of shit who's like calling them by their name like she's committed it to memory. But I realized, oh, this guy's a fucking huge narcissist, right? And now his son's up there, his 10-year-old calling the shots, with the 50-year-old guy with the one stud in his ear. Like, I like the earring guy. Like, you work at a Fantastic Sam's in Henderson in a strip mall and you're 51. You really think the stud, that's going to change anyone's mind?
I don't know. Did it work with Harrison Ford? I remember when he put one in.
Harrison Ford got the hoop long after he was established. I do like hoop earring. Oh, I don't know. On their 62nd birthday, they decided it was time to get a hoop earring. Yeah. Who could you hang out with less? Forget about Harrison Ford. Just regular dude. You ready? Mm-hmm. Dude who decides after the age of 65 to get a piercing. Dude, like a stud in his ear. Or dude who wears a leather baseball cap.
Ooh, that's close.
That's tough, right?
Yeah, that's tough.
I saw a guy in the casino with a leather, like all leather baseball hat, and I'm like, I love a baseball hat, but no, not leather, all leather baseball hat. You gotta go to lunch with one of them, Patrick.
I made the mistake of getting one of those years ago, like 20 years ago. We were on the set of Rules or something, and I think I showed up with one, and I think it was Davey who set me straight, and I was like, oh shit, all right.
You showed up in a leather baseball hat?
I think I did, yeah. But now keep in mind, I would have only been about 40 then.
Yeah.
And it was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
And I realized that right off the bat.
Admitted it.
Yeah, I didn't wear it into a casino. I did mistakenly wear it to set, and that was it.
All right, well, let me give you a third option.
All right.
Guy who pulls hair through hole in baseball cap in the back. So you got to go to lunch with either stud earring guy who got it after the age of 65, all leather baseball hat guy, or hair through hole and back of standard baseball hat guy.
I already can't shut my damn mind up about anything and everything. That's why I try not to worry myself with things like that. Now you've got me. There's so much consternation going.
I don't know where
to go. I don't. This is what, fuck, kill, or what?
Yeah, marry. Right.
Okay. The guy with the hair out the back of the baseball cap is just a flex. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like me, who's
he's hair deprived.
Hair deprived. That's going to be off-putting. I don't know. I think, at the age of 65, getting an earring. I mean,
10 seconds.
Earring.
Earring? Okay. Listen, I'm not going to make a case for a leather baseball hat. I will say this. Leather baseball hat guy, probably black, and has a son in the NBA. So at least you could talk about that.
Then it's cool.
Okay. So this guy,
if you have a son in the NBA, then anything you wear, whatever, is cool. And you're like, maybe I should. You know what? The leather baseball cap is cool again.
Yeah, because he's probably got one of those great outfits.
Why do we think the leather baseball cap is uncool? Why is it?
I don't know if it's a scent thing. Like, goddamn, that thing must smell after a couple of weeks when you're wearing it around. There's just something. I'll tell you why. It flies in the face of a baseball cap. Baseball caps are purpose built. Right. There's a reason to wear, and making it out of leather, it would be like if somebody said, like, I'm going to make these climbing shorts for free climbing out of leather. You kind of go like, eh.
Well, this is why I made my mistake of buying the leather baseball cap, I guess, because, my wife grew up with, there are 5 sisters. Her father sold insurance. They had to take 3 mortgages on their house. Always very thrifty. My wife, shops at like TJ Maxx, Ross, Target, this or that. I don't go shopping, so I remember I was like on Melrose, and I'm walking in some of these stores on Melrose, and I'm never in the fancy places, I'm killing time. I'm like, oh my God, a leather baseball cap. That's special. How much is that? $50. Well, I'm going to have the only one, I guess. And then I get it, and then afterwards I realized
David Spade told you.
Yeah, he goes, you can't do that.
I bought cowboy boots once, and my friend shot it down, and I couldn't wear them ever again.
Why? Because you ain't a cowboy? You ain't Western?
They're just like, you're from North Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, fucking cowboy boots. And they just said, get the fuck out of
Ain't
here.
nothing like
shit.
a pair of black gator cowboy boots. Those
Well, you can pull it off. You don't hang around with my friends either. They're pretty. They're like Spade, except for they don't have a sense of humor, but they will punch you. Yeah. So that's a separate thing.
Wow,
you know?
Okay.
Violent.
Yeah,
they're violent.
Violent.
Just to each other.
Yes.
Not really. A little bit to society, but mostly to each other. So I'm going to tell my son, you got boys.
3.
And they're impressive.
Yeah.
And maybe it's too late to pass this information on. But my words of wisdom will be, do not get particular with your haircut. Go anywhere. It'll all grow back. It's just you. I was happy to speak to my son yesterday. And I said, how's it going? And he said, good. And he goes, I got a haircut today. And I go, where'd you go? And he goes, I just walked to the place. You should be able to walk any place and get your fucking haircut if you live in town. And that means you don't care. He doesn't care, which is good. I'm glad. The 2 pieces, because it'll slow you down. It'll cost you money. Big picture, no one gives a fuck. You're not special. And by the way, the guy at the sports clips or the chick at the sports, exactly the same as a super expensive high-end haircut for me.
Well, it's true. Look, all I do now is I just take an electric razor and just
do
do
it
it myself.
All right. The other one, a little more controversial. When it comes to masturbation, don't get married to lube. It's a fickle mistress. You're going to get trapped without lube. You're going to be camping. You're going to be using shampoo and hurt yourself. Don't get married to lube.
No, I never have been. I did enough.
Well, I'm not saying
I did enough
you.
experimenting in my youth. You know that. Yeah. No, I
go dry. Look, here's what I would wish.
Yes.
Be able to pull it off standing up. Go dry, and get your haircut wherever you want. The world will be your oyster.
I only agree with the haircut wherever you want. That's it.
The lube. Once you get married to lube, you have to travel. You have to travel with it. There's discussions. I know guys.
Whoa. There's lotion. There's conditioner. You could just use hotel conditioner if you need.
I guess.
These are just theories. I'm just spitballing.
Camping.
I don't know.
You're going to spitball.
Well, if you're in a fucking tent, you're spitting in your hand. Sure.
Yeah,
but
I'm saying if you can go dry, it's an easier run. That's all.
That's rough. That's third world right there. Don't try it. We do not.
I would say it's kind of like dipping. It's like when you dip, you have to kind of have your dip cup. It's a little bit of a hassle.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it on the airplane.
No. That's
Okay.
why Zen rules.
Yeah.
Or any of the those.
All right.
Nicotine, tobacco free.
Other questions for you. All right. I do like, and I like watching with your stand-up as well. But your mom's parents' story is so crazy and unlikely that it's just insane. It really is. I mean, the fact that you can be on The Family Guy. What year are you on? 27? What the?
Yeah, because I think it started back in like 98. It's on 2 years, got canceled, and they brought back, and it's been on ever since.
Were you on in the first?
Yeah.
So you've been there since Jump Street.
Yeah.
And the fact that your mom organized a boycott of The Family Guy because of its salacious material.
That's one of the only things.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's one of the only things, because when I do it, I do my show at 75 minutes. I don't even talk about Seinfeld or anything. I do. One of the industry anecdotes I do talk about, just because it is insane, is that, and I talk about how my mother works for the Parents Television Council, and that their biggest fish to fry is to get a show called Family Guy up there. So my mother actually did present me with a petition one time to sign to get Family Guy off the air. Oh. And that's so I go into a whole bit about that. How she, ironically enough, I was actually helping support mom and dad with it at the time. So
the money.
Yeah. So I had to talk with her.
Family Guy money.
I go, Mom, I know that I'm aware of the fact that you are laundering Family Guy money through the Parents Television Council and the Catholic Church. I wish you wouldn't do that. And she goes, don't take that away from me. So yes, quite curious. Yes, their take and behavior.
The guy on the workout equipment who sees you, shoos you away, and then sits on that equipment and looks at his phone. I always ask this question. are we secretly jealous? There's a part of me that's jealous of that guy, that he can just do that. I could never, first off, it'd be like, oh, sorry, work in. But secondly, if I said, I'm just wrapping it up, and sat there on my phone, well, you could see him on his phone. He knew you were standing around.
Yeah.
Is there any part of you that's a little jealous?
Well,
and people go like, "Oh, fuck that douchebag," but I'm like, that notion of like being able to not feel.
Well, I'm not jealous because I wouldn't want to walk around this world being, out of tune or so perhaps narcissistic or only concerned about you and not giving a shit about anybody else. It's like, what is the world that one lives in? Now, listen, too, maybe he was just having a bad day, so I'm not going to break it down to that.
But
guy.
You walked up to this apparatus and said, "Can I work in?"
But I always do this. I mean, my kids make fun of me. I'll even put my hands together, almost like I'm praying, like, any chance I could work in with you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, is kind.
And he just goes, no.
Yes.
He says no.
Yeah.
And then
and it's really frustrating because I let anybody work in, and I always, even if they come in with a little bit of an attitude, like, how many more sets do you have? Well, I have a few, but if you'd like to work in, you can work in.
And then he sits on that little bench seat thing that comes out, the little jump seat.
Yes.
And he just sits there and looks at his phone.
Yeah.
And you're standing where?
Behind, so I'm not staring right at him. I'm just standing behind, just patiently waiting.
Right.
And, after just, it's not like he's, dealing with, he's going through his Instagram or this or that. And it's quite a period of time. It's an uncomfortable period of time to the point where it's like, if you're just going to sit there and just look at your phone, if somebody's waiting,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You could always just pop up and they could do a set, because that's rude. And he just goes, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
So I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care.
It reminds me one time a million years ago, I was at Tribeca for the film festival because we'd showed my movie, The Hammer, there. And afterward, we had like a party or an event, or someone, I don't know, meet in the lobby of the Tribeca Hilton Hotel, and everyone's going there to have some drinks to celebrate. And we went there, and the DJ was, this kid, basically. And it's just so loud you couldn't hear. And everyone is sitting around trying to have a cocktail. And I found myself like leaning across the table, spitting on people, trying to talk. I can't hear you, because the jam was pumping so hard, But everyone was sitting, and they always do what they do. They go, "We'll get a DJ," and it's like, don't fucking do that. And so there's a bunch of middle-aged folks who just came from the film festival that are trying to have a conversation and a cocktail, and nobody can hear anything because it's so fucking loud in there. And at some point, I just got up and I just walked up to his DJ booth and I went, I probably did the praying hands you do. Yeah. And I go, do you think you'd bring it down, turn it down just a little bit? Because people are trying to talk and it's really hard to hear. And he goes, nope. And I go, I don't think people are, I said, do you see anybody dancing? Nobody's dancing. We're just trying to have a conversation. And he goes, yeah, well, so what? And I just went, nobody likes this music. And he goes, I like it. And I was like, what the fuck? By the way, these people should be hit with a fucking snow shovel. Yeah. And their face should take the shape of the snow shovel like in a cartoon.
Read the room, listen to people. Be human.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We've got some humdingers. We got some young people. We made a huge tactical error in this country. Yeah. And I've been screaming about it for a million years, where we decided the young people was where it was at. We need that demo. Yeah. What demo? 18 to 34. We got to get them. And I'm like, these people are fucking dumb and they're poor. So fuck them. But what about the demo? Everyone's always like, the kids have so much wisdom. They're going to lead the future. They're fucking narcissistic, retarded pricks who stare at porn all day and eat edibles, and they're fucking worthless pieces of shit. And they have no skill set. But they don't know how to do anything. So fuck them.
But they're just not all that way. Like my three boys, they all work really hard. They surround themselves with, they have awesome friends.
No,
I hang out with, I spend more time hanging out with these young guys.
There is a chasm. No, they are there's going to be a huge chasm between your sons and the guy at the gym.
Yeah.
There's going to be a big problem.
Yeah.
And the folks that are looking for sort of equity and people, what about the folks in the middle? No. There's going to be a group of super achievers and a group of fat, lazy, self-entitled pricks. Yeah. And they're going to slough off, and life's going to suck for them.
Yeah.
You agree?
I agree.
Is your son still in this, I don't want to say space program, but the one son that was very much interested in that
he's
world.
A pilot, and he's a flight instructor now. He was going to go military, but he got married and just didn't want to have to disappear for 10 years, So he is flying in the area and every day, hours and hours a day.
What carriers does he fly for?
He's a flight instructor right now, so he's,
okay.
But he's taking meetings right now, so he's gonna get out of that and do other things. But it's so interesting. I have my car. This is like just a few weeks ago. I got my car parked directly behind my wife's car. Directly behind my wife's car.
Your vet.
Yeah, and she's got to walk by my car to get into her car. She gets into it and backs into my car. This is in our driveway. Gets into backs in her car. I am talking. So we got Shane on the speaker the next day, and he's talking about
your
my
pilot.
son, my pilot's son. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he's talking about how he had gone up. He had taken somebody on an instrument flight. They're on an instrument, full instrument program, and they're coming back. It's at nighttime, so they're navigating, coming back. He realizes that he'd read a notum 3 days before that the taxiways at Camarillo were going to be down late at night, and so you couldn't land in Camarillo. So now they've got to divert and land in Oxnard. And he was filling, this whole story up with a multitude of things and all those things that you have to deal with as a pilot, in regards to navigating IFR, nighttime, this and that. And Kathy gets on and goes, "Oh my God, Shane, you and I are the same. We did the same thing. We did the same thing. I backed into your dad's car." How does you walking by my car and backing into it have anything to do with a pilot who forgot he read a notum out of all the jillions of things and abbreviations in regards to multitasking and flying a plane at night on IFR?
Yeah.
Have to do with you backing into my car that you just walked by? It just
it is great. Women can do that. They do that. They'll do that. Any woman with a small dog goes, "He thinks he's a person. He thinks he's a person." It's like, I don't think he thinks that. But okay. They can do a lot of that grafting on stuff. You know what I've realized? I was in a lumber yard today. I was at Anawalt Lumber today. I will say this, everybody. Please listen. I looked it up. I bought some drywall from Anawalt Lumber. And Anawalt, look, it's all Home Depot and Lowe's now, and everyone goes to Home Depot. But I want to say this. A sheet of drywall at Home Depot is like $11, $10, $11, and the Anawalt stuff was like $13.50 or something like that. So sheet of plywood, 3/4 tongue and groove subflooring that I bought was like $41, and at Home Depot I think it was like $38 or something. That you can go into the local lumber yard. First off, there's dudes behind the counter who know what the fuck they're doing. Yeah. Like same 4 dudes were there 20 years ago when I went in there. You walk in, sometimes they know your name. You stand there and you go, "Yeah, give me, 3 sheets of CDX 3/4, good one side subfloor, tongue and groove," and they'll go like, "All right." And you go, "They have OSB subfloor?" And they'll go, "No, we just have the CDX." And you go, "All right, but that's good. I'll take that." And then 5/8. And they give you a piece of paper, you hand it to a guy, you just go get in your truck, and they drop it on a forklift in the back of your truck, and then you leave.
So better.
Well, you just saved about an hour.
Yeah.
And then everyone's trying to go, "I'm going to shave $3 a sheet of drywall off," right. But you buy 5 sheets of drywall, and now you've saved $15, but you've been there for an hour.
Right.
So what's your fucking time worth? And God forbid you have to return anything or deal with anything. It's all, or you need the information. You can sit there and talk about edge metal with those guys and stuff, and just they know the business, I'd say it's a much better experience. It's much faster. And, you know, people understand the idea of going to a nice restaurant versus Jack in the Box. It's not all about bottom line. Like, what's the price? Like, what's the experience like? And what's your time worth?
Shop Anawalt.
Shop Anawalt. Yeah. I'm just telling everyone.
Yeah.
Now, those guys, when you're backing the truck around, they're conducting an orchestra. They're like, this guy's coming this way, backing it up. Bring it in. Like, I just dealt with this. Like, that's all they do is guide you, back it in. Guy's got the forklift. He's dropping the stuff off. That's all they do all day. Women, I had a woman who just stood behind my car. It was my ex-wife, and I was trying to, like, back out of the driveway, and I was looking at her in the mirror the whole time. And she was just standing there with her arms at her side. And I was like, am I going to hit those trash cans? And I'm looking at her the whole time, just looking. At some point, I just hit the trash cans. And then she goes, why'd you hit the trash cans? I was like, you're standing by the trash cans. I'm watching you. You're motionless the whole time. And every guy I know's hands would go up. They would do the thing, you know, with the hand. Mexican guys will do the whistle when you get too close. Yeah. That's a safety thing.
Yeah.
It's a dude thing. The guide thing and the spatial thing that women don't do. I don't know why. Not their thing. If a guy is randomly walking down the sidewalk and some guy's backing a gardener's truck out of a driveway, you will stop and actually jump in and start guiding the guy like a traffic cop. No woman's ever done that.
You know, there's this little bit I do in my show where I talk about, you know, my daughter diagnosed me with ADHD last year, you know, and I go, she doesn't have a medical degree, but she has TikTok and an unearned confidence, and spent the night at a Holiday Inn, which I paid for. But I go, but you know, so I call my doctor and I go, this is embarrassing, but my daughter says I have ADHD, and like within 10 minutes he's writing me a script.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, how much do I pay you? An hour, but it takes 10 minutes. My daughter, you know, and I go, because women are brilliant. They're intuitive that way, and that gets the ladies all excited. Then I go, it's not, this is speaking of spatial cognizance. I go, it ain't all gravy. Over 70% of all architects are men, because women don't have the same spatial cognizance. They've done scans on their brains, and that's a fact. And I go, that's why you don't want them giving you directions or driving you anywhere. And then that's when they come after me. And then I go right back into, you know, how my wife ignores me. So, but that is a fact. So that's one of those things I threw in there.
Did she really? Yeah. Do you think you have ADHD?
I do.
First off, I didn't know what that is.
Well, I didn't either, really.
Exactly.
And then, you know, when I talked to my daughter, it just was all, you know, spelled out.
What do you have?
Listen, when I could never, ever, and I think that it presents itself in different ways. For me, I could just never focus in school. Half of it I feel like was just, could give a shit. When I rode crew at Orange Coast College, you know, this was another problem, was that I'd come to school after rowing boats for 2 hours and I'd be exhausted. I hadn't discovered coffee yet, so I would fall asleep in every auditorium class I had. But I just slowly stopped going and sort of filled my way out of the class. But, even in high school, I was that way in regards to, you know, focus and whatnot. And she goes, in the fact that you always need stimulation. You go from your coffee to your Zen all day or whatever, nicotine and stuff like that. And so I just talked about those things with my doc. He's like, yeah, you guys, like, you have it, and here's your prescription.
Well, first off, is it possible that nobody had ADHD and now everyone has it, or was it undiagnosed?
It was
in the past?
undiagnosed. But there's a spectrum for everything.
Yeah, I think, well, there is a spectrum for everything. And the only reason is I don't like this new world order where everyone has something and is taking something for it.
I don't either. Look, it obviously wasn't that disruptive for me. I was able to, you know, eke out a career and manage to work and make a living. But there are things that can, you know, actually help, you know. So I'm on, you know, a relatively low dose of Adderall, which, you know, I don't take every day, but I do find that it helps with focus and whatnot.
I think the coffee and the nicotine and all that stuff is something that we've grown into as a society. Like, we both grew up drinking from a hose, and it wasn't a thing. And I never had anything in my hand. There was never cup of coffee. There's never an energy drink. There was no Starbucks. There's no anything. I would just sort of leave the house when you're a kid, and that was it. There was a drinking fountain at the park, drinking fountain at the school, and that was it. And then there became this thing where you sort of became like baseball players sitting on the bench. You know, where's my dip? Where's my seeds? It's like, I don't know. How about you just sit there? I need seeds. Yeah. You really need sunflower seeds? I need something to do. Yeah. It's like, well, how about watching a baseball game or do your fucking job or whatever?
Copenhagen, that started with me when I was a junior in high school because all the wrestlers were dirtbags and they all chewed tobacco. So it's like I had to do that to hang.
Yeah, I get it. I played baseball, like guys dipped and all that stuff. I'm just saying, I think this thing where I find myself walking around with a bottle of water everywhere I go is unnecessary. I don't need to hydrate.
Right.
I sit in air conditioning. I drive an automatic car with the windows rolled up and the air blowing. Like what's with the hydration everywhere? Yeah. It's just a form of habit now. It's just like, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? Who wants a coffee? Where's my stuff? Who's going to Starbucks? Anyone making a Starbucks run? I'll make a Starbucks run. You know what I mean? It's a little ugly American. It's super unnecessary, and it didn't exist in our former lives at all.
No, we drank when we were thirsty. But two, because I've been reading recently that they are saying they might have gone a little overboard with the whole hydration thing. Hydration's important.
They've gone overboard with everything.
Yeah.
I used to scream into a microphone 25 years ago. How come when no one was hydrating, everyone was skinny? Now everyone's hydrating and everyone's fat. You'll drink when you're fucking thirsty. You'll pee when you have to pee. You can't come and hook a pump up to my dick and suck urine out all day. I'll fucking take a piss when I have to take a piss. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It is. And everybody's on the spectrum and everyone's on some medication and everyone is sympathetic to everyone's shit. And no one ever just goes, put the fucking energy drink down. Get your shit together. You don't need a fucking bottle of water. It gets pushed by women all the time. It's like, hydrate. You need hydration. Women are so freaked out about hydration. I had a lab that was a 110-pound black lab. And when I would walk this dog through my neighborhood during the summer, women would pull over in their cars. Like, does he need some water? I got some water in the back. I'll drain the radiator for the car. I'll cut my hands. I'd be like, he's fine. We're walking. Thank you. Literally multiple women pulling over in SUVs wanting to hydrate my dog because it's black and it's big and it's summertime and we're taking a walk and it's a disorder. They have a female canine hydration disorder, I would call it. They have it. Women are nuts, obsessed with water. Every construction site I was on, fucking me and the Mexicans just worked all fucking day. If you're thirsty, you got to suck off the hose. Yeah. There's no Gatorade. There's no energy drinks. I just read this stupid article. What was that article, Dawson? We're just reading about NPR, and they don't want this SNAP. You know, Kennedy doesn't want to pay. He doesn't want food stamps to go toward energy drinks or shitty, poisonous drinks, essentially. Yeah. The government does not need to subsidize your fucking 14-year-old shitty habits that are bad for them, that are, by the way, going to cost us more money when the kid has diabetes in his 30s, and then we're going to have to take care of your fat fucking lazy kid. So he just went, I don't want to pay for it. But, of course, NPR had to get involved and take the side of the fucking kids that were drinking the poison with the corn syrup and the red dye number 7 in it. So we've fucking lost our bearings completely.
Yeah, well, that is a concern because
and the article's great.
And every now and then a story comes up where some kid drank 3 Monsters instead of 2, and then ended up dying because of heart rate or heart.
The story is NPR lies and they just hate. Well, so here's the deal. NPR hates Trump, so de facto they hate Kennedy. So anything Kennedy says, they just push against. Not because they're not a news organization. They're an arm of the Democratic Party. That's why the right wants them defunded, because they're not doing news. But anyway, for teenagers, soda and energy drinks occupy a unique role. It's a kind of a social currency for them, she says. I don't have the top part of this, but it's the daughter or the mom. It's the mom on Snap. It's the mom saying, I need more money from the government so I can buy Red Bulls for my fucking kids. Her 17-year-old daughter, Olivia, confirms this dynamic. I feel like when you walk into first period in the morning, everyone has a Red Bull or an energy drink. It's a social construct for sure, says Olivia, who needs free shit from us so she can feel like she's part of a group that's poisoning themselves in homeroom. Fuck that. Start drinking water, bitch. I don't give a fuck. And if your mom wants to use her own money to poison you, that's her fucking business. I don't want to subsidize it. And by the way, how about you just get over it? You can walk into class and everyone can be drinking a Red Bull and you can just fucking have your hands in your pockets. How about that world? I'll live in that world. You'll end up better off than these people. By the way, the mom's fat, and I'll bet the fucking kids are fat too. So get your shit together, people. Would you? Now, it's not their fault. They're dumb. It's our fault for enabling them. It's the dad's fault for not telling the three fucking kids, the fucking barber will cut your hair how he fucking wants. Now shut up.
I always used to go to the CBS. Did you ever do that? The ski races at Deer Valley. Did you ever go to those?
As a
Water
kid?
keepers. Well, no. I'm saying in race. You know,
On
so
skis.
celebrity race they did on skis, where they televised the whole deal.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The water keepers, who Kennedy was the head of, was they took care of all the waters, trying to keep all the waterways and waters clean in the world.
He's an environmental attorney before that. Yeah.
Remarkable the work that he did.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be that if you caught a fish in the Hudson River, that's toxic. It was toxic, and it's no longer toxic. You can literally catch a fish in the Hudson and now eat it because he sued DuPont, which just polluted that for billions of dollars and had to clean those waterways of the Hudson. But remarkable things. I always remember whenever I saw him speak, he was incredibly sharp and intuitive, and the work that he did worldwide in regards to cleaning waterways, which are imperative to the health of the world, that was fantastic. And I always felt like, one day or another, I thought that he'd probably run for president, which he ended up doing.
I know, but now they have to smear him. He ate roadkill. He's a weirdo. Fuck you. He's smarter than all you. He's done good. He doesn't want kids to drink poison, and he doesn't want the government to subsidize kids who drink poison. And by the way, that shit ain't cheap. How much? Are you ready? How much is like a Monster energy drink? Because it's the price of a fucking dozen eggs. So if you're having trouble feeding your fucking kids, perhaps you should spend that $5.99 on a dozen eggs or some beans and rice or other things of sustenance to feed your kids, a sack of apples or something like that versus poison. How about that?
Well, that does sound like common sense, Adam.
I want to know, what is a dozen eggs in this man's world?
Well, Monster Energy drink is $2.49.
For a 16-ounce can? Where's that at, though?
That's 6 eggs.
That's what Target is selling it for.
Oh, well, you went to the cheapest
That's only
place
6 eggs.
to find Monster Energy drinks. But if you go into a bodega or something.
Let me look at all the bodega's websites. Hang on.
No, but it is, if you buy it at Costco or Target or whatever, it's going to be the cheapest it's going to be. But I don't think this chick's going into a Target. I think she's going into a 7-Eleven or an AM/PM or whatever on her way in. All right, so it's basically $2.30 to $3.30 for a 16-ouncer.
Yes, 16 ounce, $2.49 at Target.
At Target,
So probably $3, over $3 at a liquor store.
yeah, it says $3 and change at a liquor store or so. All right. What's a Red Bull? Red Bulls are like 10 ounces, 9 ounces, or some like weird Euro measurement thing. They can't be 16. Fucking head would explode. All right. How much is a is a dozen eggs, and I'll do the math. The point is you shouldn't be feeding your kid this shit. Your kids shouldn't even be on all this caffeine. We never drank coffee or had energy drinks or anything like that when we were kids.
No, but I would have gotten an education actually if I had grabbed.
Well, you rode crew from 4:30 in the morning till 8 at night, and then went in for your class. Red Bull is 8.4 ounces. That's funny. I said 8 or 9 ounces. It's a weird.
Yeah.
8.4 ounces. Whenever there's a funky number, think metric.
Yes.
If you measure something, like if you go, what's that tile? Is that 1 foot by 24? And they go, it's 23 and 3/16 by 11 and 9/16. It's a metric size. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So whenever it doesn't really fit a standard, just like easy
Monster,
parameter,
16 ounces.
Okay. Yeah.
8.4. That's a translation from X metric size.
Yeah, it's an American company, right?
Red Bull?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't think it started as an American company. Okay. I'm just saying it'll be around whatever number. All right. Dozen eggs, $2.61 currently. So the $2.61 for a dozen eggs falls right in between a Monster energy drink, cheap end $2.30, high end $3.30. And my synopsis was correct. Basically, for the price of a Monster energy drink, you can get a dozen eggs, which is the best thing your fucking kid could eat. And if you're truly hungry and you truly can't make enough money to feed your kids, then no, you should not be squandering it on something that is bad for your child. You should buy a dozen fucking eggs. Yes? And by the way, NPR should be championing that, not arguing with Kennedy. But again, they're just being adversarial. They don't really believe what they're saying. Thoughts, Patrick? Well, you have 3 sons.
I do.
Would you rather them have a Monster and energy drink for breakfast or 2 poached eggs?
Oh, 2 poached eggs.
All right.
Yes.
Well, you've made my point.
Yes.
All right, we'll take a break. Want to hang out, do a little news?
Sure.
All right. Patrick will hang out. Right. We'll bring in Mayhem. We'll do some news right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Ace Man, John from Northern California. I'm all with you on the tip rant of yours, but I'll tell you one blue-collar job you're forgetting about that tips are expected, and that's hunting and fishing guide. Those guys work their ass off and fight Mother Nature day in and day out, and they definitely deserve their tips because those guys work for it. So, love the show. Keep it up, Ace Man.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Yeah, you tip those guys. But that's not a real job. I mean, I don't know what percentage of Americans are hunting guides, less than 30%, I'd say. I'm just talking in all things of life, okay, let me explain something. Now, I like this guy, don't get me wrong, tip your hunting guide. Almost everybody I speak to who I go, listen, you gotta have a dad and a mom, a family. They gotta focus on discipline, education, and the problem with the black community is too many dads are gone and the kids don't have that structure. And they go, I know a black kid whose dad was a junkie and was in prison and he now runs Nabisco. And I go, okay, good. But that's not going to happen very often. I don't want to focus on outlier shit, which everyone does. I want to focus on the norm, like what's causational and all that kind of stuff. And I like blue collar guys. I should have tipped the guys in the yard at Anawalt Lumber who loaded up my drywall versus the barista at the Starbucks. That's what I'm saying. Hunting guide, fishing guide's good, but that's 100 guys on the planet do that gig. All right, we got news with Mayhem over there.
Got some news. Yeah, 5 people were arrested in Santa Ana for allegedly assaulting police officers who were trying to arrest a man for drinking in public. A now viral video of the incidents being reviewed as a part of a use of force investigation.
Yeah, cops are going to start shooting people again, because there is no. It's so funny. Every time Karen Bass, mayor of Los Angeles, or Gavin Newsom, they always go, these people are scared. Like, they're scared. They're scared. Okay, stop bum rushing the guys you're scared of and go fucking hide on the other side of the street. But we'll watch it. They're holding down a guy.
Oh, it's a strange way to advocate hate.
But if one fucking cop just went fuck you and just shot the guy in the face,
Ooh.
like the guy who in the Capitol, that guy just shot a chick in the face. We applaud that, right, fellas? Right? I all like that. No problemo. No problemo with that cop shooting someone in the face. One cop shot in the face, news out, everyone fucking stays home. That's how it works. Got to do it.
Shortly after the George Floyd tragedy, I remember, just posting because everybody was going after just cops in general, just attacking every single one of them. And I said, look, there's so many of them. They're Hispanic, they're black, they're white, they have families, they have children, they're doing a job trying to, and everybody's like, fuck them all. They're all the same fucking thing. I'm like, I got my ass handed to me, and it's
the internet loses nuance. Like they want issue to be very stark contrast to one way or the other.
They're also insane, and these people are fucking criminals. I mean, what I mean, here's what I'm saying. When LeBron James gets out there and does all his fucking race hustle, he's ended up getting kids killed by saying the cops are hunting down people or black people or whatever. That causes the struggle. That cop, remember that scene about 4 or 5 years ago? The woman... teenage girl was about to plunge a steak knife into another woman, teenage girl, and the cop shot her. And LeBron started complaining about the cop, not the fucking chick with the steak knife who was trying to gut her friend in a parking lot. I don't know if he walked it back or not, but listen. Okay, let's just do a math. Do we need cops? Do we want cops? Do we need cops? Yeah, okay, yes. All right, we have a society. We've somehow crafted a society where we need cops. Okay, so let's just check. Let's just go in order here. Right. Do we need cops? Yes. Okay, so everyone agrees on that.
Yes.
All right, if you take cops and you pull them back out of neighborhoods where there's crime, is there more crime or less crime? With less cops or more cops? Well, there'd be more crime if those cops were out there. Okay. Is there such a thing as a bad cop? Yes. Should we try? But they're bad accountants who embezzle.
Yes.
Yeah, there's bad versions of everything. Should we try to weed them out? Yes. Should we use training? Yes. We should use all. But to demonize cops, just sort of in general, it's insane.
Yeah, sort of racist against cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. LeBron James. Oh God.
He walked it back?
Doxed this guy.
Oh, wow.
He said, you're next. I mean, first off, cops don't get up in the morning thinking, I'd like to shoot a young female. But if that young female is in the process of gutting another young female and you've yelled stop a few times and they don't seem to be paying any attention, then yes, that's what you do.
Now, everybody thinks that real life is like the movies. That's why you get guys watching fights and going, oh, he should have done this or should have done that. But the reality of the situation is when it's life or death, you have to make drastic decisions.
Well, let's just put it to you this way. Let's just say you had a young daughter and she's about to have a steak knife plunged into her gut.
Yeah.
Would you be happy if the cop shot the human being who was holding the steak knife, whatever, male, female, black or white? Was it LeBron? Would you have a daughter? Would you be happy that the cop shot the person who was about to gut her like a trout? Yeah. If the answer is yes, then shut the fuck up, you race hustler.
All right, let's lighten it up a little bit. Hey, should we normalize baby showers for men?
No.
Some expecting dads think so. And this entire article is pretty much women saying, my husband's coworkers did it when I was pregnant. He came home excited, mainly women. One made a cake and another made an amazing gift basket full of necessities. I will never forget how they included him in the baby excitement, too.
All right, here's what I'll sign off on. Patrick, I think you're with me. I decided the other day for Father's Day. I came home on a Sunday. I called my son. I said, it's Father's Day. He said, yeah. I said, what do you want to do? Go to dinner or something? I'm like, no, I want to do what I want to do. And you're doing it with me. And we went to that fucking Home Depot and we spent about 2 hours walking up and down the aisles, putting shit on there. I had him like a mule dragging one of those big carts with plywood and cement sacks on it and drywall. And he's getting we had like a 2-cart wagon train going. And I was just standing there going, take the 1 cart, go to aisle 11, wait for me there. Then we're going to start stacking up pier blocks. You know what a pier block is, boy? And he goes, no. And I go, okay, well, you're going to find out. And then we walked all the way through the tool aisle, and I was like, that is a diamond blade. That's a 7 1/4 inch diamond blade. No, that's not a circular saw. It's a high point saw. It's a different type of gearing on that. That's a circular saw. That's a high point saw. And I just fucking broke it all down with him, and I said, that's what I want to do. Because it's Father's Day. Yeah. I don't want to go to brunch that I end up paying for. I want to do what I want to do. And he did it. And I'll say for the baby shower, if it involves golf and tequila, then so be it.
Yes.
That's our day.
Yes.
It shouldn't be a version of what you do. You want this stuff. It should be what we want to do for that day.
But if you look, and now in the, vastness of time, that is something that your son will take forever, that experience, that Father's Day experience, which is a very unique one. And I think it's going to end up being a much more important one than just all sitting down and having dinner somewhere.
I agree. Yeah. He got into it. I broke it down. I was walking down aisles going, that's a joist hanger. That's a Tico clip. This is what this bit does. These are masonry bits. These are paddle bits. These are Forstner bits. These are auger bits. This
a lot
is
of kids
wood.
grow up and later in life, they might have trouble. I never really knew who my father was. Your kids will always know who their dad is.
Yes,
they'll always know who it is.
I told them exactly how it worked, but it was my day. Mm-hmm. That's my point.
Yeah,
and I would say that the baby shower male version is fine, but not the way women celebrate it, transferred to males, but our day.
Agreed.
All right, Ace, lay it down for us. What's your dream baby
Back
shower?
to Home Depot. I would go, all right, we're here to celebrate, and we got, a young kid. Maybe we should go fucking go-kart racing, like something a young kid would enjoy. But we're going to involve a few beers and we're going to hit the track. Like some communal fun, fucking paintball, whatever. Dave and Buster's type shit. I mean, we're not going to a strip club. That's a little too easy.
I would want a day of golf with my buddy Jerry Cantrell, Eddie Vedder, and Maynard from Tool. That's
wow. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Or a little karaoke over at the Warburton house.
That was so much fun.
Oh, wow.
Oh, did he kill, not traffic, what was the...
I did vehicle.
Vehicle. Well, close. I was in the
It's close,
vehicle,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder what a gender reveal would be like. Ben pledges to bankroll any New York City mayoral candidate capable of defeating Zohran Mamdani.
Oh, I got a clip, speaking of that guy, which is everything that's wrong. It's that Colbert clip. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, the hedge fund billionaire Bill Ackman plans to bankroll a New York City mayoral campaign, arguing that his affluent associates are poised to flood the election with money in an effort to defeat Democratic Socialist frontrunner Zohran Mamdani.
Yeah, well, look, it's all great. I mean, he's going to have free buses and free daycare and government owns grocery stores where everything's going to be cheap and everything's going to be awesome, except for none of it's ever going to fucking work. Yeah. It's up there with the homeless need to be treated with dignity. No, they need to be fucking rounded up and put somewhere and dry up. That's what they fucking need. Has anyone, look, here's what I'm saying to everyone at every time is if does anyone have a fucking dumb friend they went to high school with or a ne'er-do-well brother-in-law or something like that? Like the 757th time the guy corners you at a party and goes, hey, Patrick, I'm looking for just a little bit of seed money to get an idea off the ground. It's like, how many fucking times do I have to lend you money for you never to pay it back before I start going, maybe this shit ain't going to work? Like your version, this socialist utopia, how many times do we have to try this shit? How many times is somebody going to make a promise of free this and free that and government owned and low cost and all that? In a vacuum of it, it never works. I need examples where it works. It never works. But we're so into the notion of, listen to Colbert's audience. But I'll tell you, it's everything's wrong. Because what Colbert does, who's a douche, by the way, Colbert just goes, he just lays the person's, first off, I don't care if they're gay or lesbian or black or white or the first this or the first that. I want competent fucking people running big cities. Okay, but listen to Colbert. Listen to his audience.
Let's listen.
Mean shit to anybody. That just means no experience. His fucking mom makes films. He's a fucking trust fund baby. He's never had a real job, and he has no fucking real experience. I want an old dude who ran businesses.
Yeah.
He's the youngest. He's the youngest commercial airline pilot in the sky. He's a 14-year-old doogie. I don't want to get on that plane. I want fucking grizzled Vietnam vet who's pissed he can't smoke in the cockpit. That guy.
Yes.
He's the youngest, okay? He's Muslim. Oh, they never fuck anything up. Those people's always right on the mark. Every country that's Muslim, majority Muslim, run perfectly. Perfectly. You need Muslim. You need lack of experience. What else is he? He's a socialist. Okay, this is going to be awesome because that's what you need. You need no experience meets Muslim meets socialist. That always works out.
Allah Akbar,
It's
comrade.
perfect. Yeah. Okay, good. And all the fucking retarded people are going nuts. One more time. Play it through. Just listen to these people's reaction.
They could be potentially sweetening the sound and holding up the applause signs, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
definitely.
They do
the
that.
warm-up guy.
Okay, New York, have fun with the Muslim guy with no experience who's a socialist. It's all going to work out perfectly. And then what happens is folks that have businesses and make money just fucking leave. And then you guys are going to cry that you don't have any tax base and what's going on. And everyone's going to have a fucking laugh. And I've told you guys, Dr. Drew said to me all the time, because he's a wise man, but he's wise enough to know I'm wiser. And so he comes to me, hat in hand, at the hem of my garment.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm wearing board shorts, so he's right in there.
Sexy. No,
Yeah.
that's not right.
So he kneels at the hem of my garment with his hat in his hand. Okay.
Don't tell me you started washing your feet.
Not yet. That's next. And he says to me, "Oh, wise one, what's next? What's next in this country? Where are we going as a society? Tell me, soothsayer, speaker of truth, wise one, because you're omnipotent." And he knows because he sat next to me for 30 years and he's watched everything I predict come to fruition. So he kneels at my hem and he puts his hat in his hand.
Yes.
And he asks, please share wisdom. Share your wisdom with me. You know what I say? Safe spaces and octagons. We're dividing up. All the fucking smart people who make money and like to work are going to move to Florida. And all the fucking people who think they're getting free shit from government-run stores are going to stay behind. And there's going to be a chasm. Half the people are going to the fucking octagon to kick some ass. Other half going to find a fucking safe space to cry in. And the safe spaces are going to have to turn to the octagons soon and go, we need help. Because we don't have any tax base. We don't have any fucking money. And our whole fucking shit's falling apart. That's what's going to happen. And that's where we're heading. And we're just going to have a group of Texas and Floridas and Tennessees. And everyone's just going to go there. And all the fucking smart people and all the job creators and all. California used to have 13 car manufacturers in it. They're all gone. Elon Musk's the last to fucking move out. They're all going to just move out and they'll go somewhere else.
We used to make shows and movies here.
Right. They're all moving out. Moving out of the safe space, going to the fucking octagon where they can be free and then they'll get taxed to death. And if this guy gets into New York, that's it. And New York is like, we can't afford all the fucking financial industry and all these fucking heavy hitters who are paying for the free bus rides and the free childcare and the government-run store. If they all move, we don't have anything except for people riding the bus for free. Whew. Safe spaces and octagons. Mark my words. Kneeling at my hem. At the hem of my garment.
Did he have to climb up into the mountains to get you on a sitting in the lotus position or floating?
I
in the
reside atop Mount Pius. And you can, well, no, I actually wasn't wearing shorts. The hem of my robe. I wear a scholarly robe. And he would kneel, and he'd bring offerings, fruit mainly, in season. And he would offer that for wisdom. And I would share wisdom. And then I would tell him to go back down the mountain and share my wisdom with the villagers. That would be you, the people in the valley. Okay? And he would come up and make another fruit offering, and I would share more wisdom. As he kneeled at my hem.
This is a fascinating
You know where
story.
his hat was?
Yes, down, right.
In his hand.
In his hand, yeah.
That's right. Go ahead. It wasn't a leather baseball hat, I'll tell you that right now.
I have forever just, I'm kind of, I haven't even voted in years, and I've always stayed out of politics 100%, in the entertainment industry. I think it's the smartest thing to do, It was on Larry King years ago, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to avoid a political question. Larry goes, this is when Trump was elected the first time. He goes, what do you think of Trump? And I go, I didn't vote for him, Larry, but I also didn't vote for Hillary. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. I go, Rush, 19.
Yeah.
And I go, but I'm rooting for him because he's the president of the United States, so I hope he does a good job. And that was it. And I got out of there unscathed. But like really, in the realm of politics, I see so much mess going on right now. I appreciate your no nonsense perspective on a lot of things and common sense perspective.
I will tell you this.
It is an aggravating fucking world that we live in, and it is. And I wish we weren't so polarized, but we are really fucking polarized. You're laughing.
Well, back up what you're saying. I will undergird. As long as you kneel by him, I will undergird. I will lay out your political strategy perfectly.
You're going to want to put that hat in your hand.
When is the last time you did VO work for Family Guy?
An hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. When did I get
here? Mayhem asked me when the last time I did VO work for Family Guy was.
When?
9 years. So it is impactful sometimes, the things.
But it was. I remember, yes, because you were the.
Yeah, they replay the death episode every once in a while.
When's the last time I got called in? When's the last time Seth called me in to do VO work?
Greatest Grim Reaper ever.
9 years.
Well, don't let him talk too much because he didn't vote last time because he was getting a haircut at Fantastic Sam's.
Oh, that's right. Wow. That's right. And they knelt at the hem of my cape that they put around me. I like the cape. You know what I like to say? Oh, you know what I'm going to tell people I do? If people say to me, what do you do? What line are you in, bub? I'm going to go, when you go to the barber and they make that small ribbon of paper that goes around your neck before they put the cape on? That's what I make.
You make those?
I make that paper. I don't do Kleenex. I don't do toilet paper. I don't do coasters or doilies. I just do that one weird strip. It's 1 3/8 inches wide, and it just goes around your neck.
There you go.
And then they put the cape around that.
And what
That's
you can
my
do is
business.
and then torture them and explain why the competitors don't do as good a job, and then start breaking down the composite of the one that they put around your neck.
Oh, yeah.
And just watch them slowly.
I'll be like,
drift off.
Acme neck wraps use an inferior wood pulp base for their paper product.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yes, and mine are waxed on both sides. My competitor just waxes one side. They get most of their materials from China, whereas I get my stuff from the USA. So
there you go.
Of course, we have to charge a little more. It's almost $0.015 per unit, whereas my competitors can come in at under $0.01 per unit.
You've done your research.
I got, you want to know my counts? I got Fantastic Sam's. I got Sports Clips. I got Sports Cuts. Those are major vendors. Okay? Here, let me give you a card if you ever need any paper neck wraps.
This is why I go to Jamie's Hair when I had hair in Thousand Oaks, because they cost a little bit more.
Yeah.
But they spend, yeah.
Yeah, he was a customer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to provide
really?
neck wraps for him.
Jamie's.
Well, we still do. Yeah. He's a good guy. Loyal fan base. My dad started the company
Little
several
plug.
years
I
ago.
used to go to Ricky Martin's barber till he shamed me out of it.
Yeah,
Now I go to whatever Fantastic Sam Sports Clip is in the area.
Well, I'm glad he set you straight.
Well, set straight is really the operative
That is how it
term there. All right, Warburton. When We Went Mad is the name of our new doc, unauthorized story of Mad Magazine on Apple, Amazon, most digital platforms, cable providers.